Welcome to Aruga, Africa.
Gonna give you her take with Marcus Garvey. Family, are you ready? Yeah. You really ready? Yeah. Let's say RBG. Yes. All right, we're gonna present to you, without further ado, Sister Carola Kanash. Welcome, Miss Sister, to the stage, family.
Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you. Thank you. Really blessed. I feel blessed to be here. And so Marcus Garvey doesn't come from here. We don't learn about Marcus in schools. So what I picked out of my own interest and out of meeting people who got to know about him. Then I went online and researched more about him. But I'll start, before I do that, I'll go the African way. I have to introduce myself. You have to know who I am, where I come from, and why I'm here. My name is Carola Kinasha, as Maya said. I'm a musician, Tanzanian, from Arusha, originally from the Maasai tribe. I come from a very small village called Longido. I was blessed to have had a village life at the beginning of my life, and later I came to Dar es Salaam when I was around 13, and I was already in secondary school. So I was privileged to be able to live in the village and experience the village life, and then come to the city. I still go back. My mother is still there in Longido. My mother is now 96, I think. She's healthy.
Nice.
And we still go to visit. I say we because I come from a family. We were 8 children, but 2 of us, plus father, is already gone ahead. So we are left with 6, plus my mother.
Wow.
And so I come from a very big family. I was not privileged enough to live in a typical Maasai village because my father was already an outcome of colonialism. My father was a Lutheran church priest, so we grew up, in the religion, and he brought us up with that. I have my own opinion later. We can talk about that now, but I was brought up like that. I just wanted to give you a little bit of who I am. Music from 1988, just after I finished in 1987. I can hear feedback. I don't know whether there's something that we can do about it. I went to University of Dar es Salaam. And when I was at the University of Dar es Salaam, that was when I actually first encountered the name Marcus Garvey. And I was lucky because I was born during Uhuru, our Uhuru here. So I'm a child of independence, and I was lucky that from school up to university, when I was in first year, when I was among a few lucky Tanzanians who lived in a defined society. At that time, our society was defined. We wanted to be self-reliant. We wanted to live in our Yama. We wanted to live together and help each other and build, and that is what we were brought up with, and that is all we could think about: living together, building together, farming together, caring for each other. And even during the struggle for independence for especially Southern Africa, Tanzania played a very big role, because our belief was, if you're not independent, then the rest, even if you are independent, the rest are not, then your independence means nothing. And at that time we were still talking about the unity of Africa. African unity, Africa was our thing. I grew up in that era where we believed that the only way Africa would prevail one day, Africa will be strong, is by uniting. I still carry that belief in a very confused system that I live in, but I still believe in that. And I'll go back when I was at the University of Dar es Salaam. I came across one of the professors. He was not teaching me, but I was in a lot of associations that he started at the university, some of them liberation movement associations and other, by the name of Horace Campbell. So I was really blessed to be one of the students under Horace Campbell. And Horace Campbell was one of the first people to really explain to me who Marcus Garvey was and what he meant for us as a people. Yeah, I don't know if Marsha wants to ask anything or you want me to go.
No, just continue. We're here, just up at your feet.
Okay. As you can see, I'm not very good with papers.
No.
I'm really an artist. So if I take you all over the place and you can't find me, please bring me back. I'll oblige. Yeah. But Horace Campbell was a lecturer at the University of Dar. And he came, he was among a few people who came back during the Nyerere time. He was from Jamaica. There were people from Guyana. There were people from the United States, especially Black Panther movement. During Nyerere time, you'd come here and you wish to live here. You would not be asked questions. You ask whether you want passport or you want to have a permit, and you'll be given land and other things, because Nyerere believed that when people came to Africa, to Tanzania, they come back home.
Yeah,
so a lot of people I know.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
During the time, a lot of them are still here. Some of them are late now. They've died. They've passed on. But a lot of people who came at that time were received as people were coming back home. And that was our stand. So today, for me, it's a bit confusing when I know that you come from Jamaica, or you come and you're intending to come back home and probably even add value to what we have because of the experiences that we have from different countries. And I know that there is a lot of complication on settling here. But it wasn't the intention of I think the change of the economic changes and the fact that we're still in the neo time. We're going through a lot of papers, small in the future all this will be ironed out. But it's really nice to see that a lot of you are still coming. A lot of you are still trying to, find your roots. A lot of you are coming to add value here and learn from us. We learn from each other. And for me, that should have been, if that was going to be allowed to happen, that people can, especially black people, can move freely. For me, that will be, my English is not my first language, so sometimes I can't find the right words, but that would have been a credit to what Marcus Garvey stood for, bringing us back together. Now we can't talk about political issues anymore. Politics are politics. People are calling themselves capitalists, others are calling themselves socialists. But at the end of the day, today we know that wherever we are, whether it's in Africa or anywhere, the economy is what owns you. The economy is what decides today whether you are happy or not. The economy of your country, the economy of your own family, how much you earn, it matters. Today it matters. It doesn't matter anymore that I'm a socialist or a capitalist. If economically I cannot achieve the things that I want to achieve as an individual or as a nation, then that is a big hindrance. And for me, that is one of the things that I looked at Marcus Garvey and see and ask myself if you could make that movement in those years when there was no independence. People were, it was, we were in a time where even being black was not even, you were not even a human being, you were just a thing, an object, to be used. If he could stand at that time and make a difference and make a movement and touch so many people and change so many lives and awaken that the urge to fight and if he could have done it those so many years ago, what is it that is for us right now? What is the challenge right now? It's not able. Now that we have more freedom, we have more, we're educated. Sorry, when I put it in the invented comma, I think you understand. But we are exposed, we're educated, we're out there. We know what is out there. We know what we need as a people. Why is it not possible now for us to get together? Maybe that will be a question that will leave on the floor and we can have a discussion on that. But I'm thinking that maybe I should go back and when we got independence here, as you know, Nyerere was our first president, and what he said we need people, land, and a good leadership, and a good political movement and good leadership to advance. So we have people, we have amazing land, rich. We are so rich.
Yes,
I don't know how far you guys have, I don't know how much you've traveled in Tanzania, but if we get to go to all parts of Tanzania, we're super rich in terms of, most of our green, our land is, you can farm on it. Where you cannot farm, we have gold, we have minerals, we have everything, and probably we still have a lot of things to go to, in the future that we'll discover. But at the end of the day, even if we find these things, what are they going to help us with if we are not, if we do not prepare our youth? If we do not prepare our youth to arrive where we wanted them to arrive when we were fighting for independence, when we were fighting against the slavery, when we were fighting against all these things, how do we arrive there? So for me, what Marcus Garvey did as a person at that time, I find it absolutely amazing. And of course, people, if you read his history, they will say he failed here, he did this. He was a person who had all these ideas in one head, and he wanted to do everything. There was nothing wrong with that. In that time, that is what he wanted to do. He may have not been able to achieve much, but he did something. And the fact that he did not go far, it's not because Marcus Garvey didn't want to go far. It's not because Africans didn't want to go far. It's the same game. If they see somebody that is prominent, somebody who's going to be influential, somebody who's going to change people's attitude, somebody who's going to make Africans stronger, they'll find a way to get rid of you, either by discrediting you or by killing you or by doing other things. And to me, I don't know the whole story about exactly what was around Marcus Garvey's death, but I don't believe that he died just because it was time for him to die. I always I don't know if it's the right word, I'm skeptical when it comes to black people who are prominent dying from way back. Everybody who was anybody somehow die early before you know, and also talk about Bob Marley. I don't know what your stand is. I don't know. I don't have like evidence to say, yeah, truly they did this, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts because he was a person who could touch the whole world, and through his music he was able to change people. And when people are strong like that, somebody always find a way to take them away, or find a way to call them names, dictator, this, and we still go through that. So for me, what I learned from Marcus Garvey is to be able to, first of all, believe that nobody can come from outside and change your life for you. Everything, if you want to be a better person tomorrow, it is up to you to make that effort. It's up to you to work hard and to achieve that. Another thing that I still believe in is unity. I still believe that we need to unite.
Yes.
And without unity, that's why they just play around with us. It's so easy, you know. Yeah, I can't depend on leadership anymore. For me, leaders in Africa are all like, for me, they're puppets. They're people who have been placed there, or even if they're not placed there, even if they're placed by the people, they're easy to be bought. So we don't have leadership anymore in Africa. I don't really have a leader that I'll go out and say, wow, this is one leader that is current, that I'm focused on, or somebody I believe that will bring change. We had the Sankaras, Thomas Sankara didn't last even a year, a whole term of presidency. Then they got him because Thomas Sankara was talking about telling the Francophone countries that they don't want to pay the taxes anymore. They don't want French people to continue to benefit from their hard work for no reason. And they found a way to get rid of him and put somebody else there. So Africa has had a lot of heroes, but all our heroes have died. But most of these heroes, most of these African heroes, they had learned something from Marcus Garvey. So those who had came in touch with Marcus Garvey learned something from him. They learned about uniting, working together, working for each other, looking after each other, and many more things. As I said, I'm so sorry because I'm all over the place. I'm basically a musician, so I don't really know how to organize a lecture and to make it, as organized as I can. But I hope I've been able to communicate who Marcus Garvey means to us, especially Tanzanians, Africans who have come in touch with him. But the sad part of it is the fact that I wish all our children would learn about these people in a classroom. Yeah. I wish all our heroes were taught in classes. My children have learned about all the African heroes from me, because the school they went to, nobody will teach them about their real history. Even the history of Tanzania, up to now, we don't have anybody who is from us ourselves. We're just receiving books that were written by the colonial masters. So we still haven't even told our story, our own history, the way it's supposed to be told. So yeah, Marcus Garvey will always be a hero to most of us. We don't care what the West say about him. Right. We value what he did. We admire his courage at that time, and to be able to stand at that time when you know that you're surrounded by enemies like left, right, and center, but you're standing there saying, let's unite, let's start businesses, let's do this, and you see things actually happening. For me, I think that is the legacy that a lot of Africans are still living on, especially the unity side of things.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's definitely, thank you for coming and sharing that with us. Yeah. I wanted to know, is there maybe any plans in the future, maybe in your heart and your spirit, to maybe form something for the Tanzanians, as well as, the linking up with the Garvey, because, what Garvey means to us. But it really was surprising to me when they was telling, we have Tanzania here. You know what I mean? So is there anything maybe in the plans in the future to shine the light for the next generation of Tanzanian on who this great man was?
Personally, I'm trying to work as much as possible within the music industry. I'm working a lot with youth, so whenever I have an opportunity to impart knowledge, I do. But I don't have anything really formally organized or anything like that. By the way, I'm as I told everybody, I'm a musician, but for the past 12 years, I was completely out of the stage.
Okay.
Now I'm just getting back now. So I was not in touch with a lot of things. I was just in my own little world, and my children, bringing my children up and trying to push them to become better people. Now my last born is in college already, so
Beautiful.
I'm back. I'm ready to. I've just come back into the music scene. But I've always, they call me when they have things that they need to discuss and they think I can add value to. They always ask me to, and I always oblige.
Well, thank you, because we're at Black Wall Street, moving Garvey. We'll definitely look forward to maybe linking up with you in the future and building something as a link and a bridge with Tanzania as far as when Garvey is concerned.
Absolutely.
Glad to have you aboard and work with you and build. If you would have us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, wow. All righty, family. Let's give a big round of applause for Sister Carola Kinasha.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before you exit the stage, maybe we can do a little audience engagement for a little bit. Family, if you would like, maybe you could take a little Q&A.
Absolutely.
You guys have any questions for the sister that graced the stage tonight? Don't all speak at one time. I know you guys are not shy. I'm scared. I'm son of Mr. Mark. Now, no questions for the sister before she leaves. It was just so honored. Thank you for having us and gracing us with all that beautiful, rich knowledge in your background. Definitely going to speak with you later and build more and let you be our bridge to the Tanzania.
Absolutely.
All right, we got
to do that. Yeah, I'll be happy to do that.
All right, we got Mark meets Africa in the building. All right.
First of all, shikamo madam.
Marhaba.
Okay, now I do have a question, and it's more so an abstract question. And you, as somebody who grew up here, what do you see as the unifying factor to the diaspora in the continental Africans? What do you think? And again, it's just abstract. It's what do you see it as being that one push or those series of pushes that brings us together? What's gonna fill that gap?
It's a good question. As I said before, we used to have we were defined. Like during Nyerere, when we received people easily, we were defined. As a nation, we were defined. It's crazy. I'm saying that because right now, seriously, I don't know. Because if you ask me right now, what kind of what political orientation we are under, I cannot tell you. But at that time, I knew we were, on self-reliance, ujamaa na kujitegemea, which was, living together and building together. And if we learn from that time, it is possible to do this. But right now, you're coming, your age mates, people who are your age group, who are the ones who are receiving you right now, you will only meet a few who will be as exposed as you are, or people will be, at least, informed enough, to know that actually this unity is important. And even when in Africa, when we think about unity, we don't even think of the diaspora. Our focus is normally the continent. We're thinking of the unity of the continent. The very people consider the diaspora as Africans. But sometimes I'm amazed, and I really have say this about Jamaica, because right now, the way Jamaica is, the way you're teaching your syllabus in school, you're teaching your children more about Africa than we actually do.
Wow.
So right now, some Jamaican kids know about Africa and African history more than our own kids. But it's also beyond us. It's all this, the way the what would will I say utandawazi. Guys, kwa Kiswahili utandawazi nisemeje kwa Kiingereza? But the globalization has changed a lot of things, and you find that now we have the internet, we have more ways of actually linking together, but we don't have a platform that brings us together. Everybody's busy in the area of interest. I'll be busy with music, other people will be busy with politics. Everybody, but we can. It has to be, for me, I believe that it's doable, but it has to be an effort that we actually create. We have to create that effort. We have to start bringing back awareness to our own people, that these people are in the diaspora not because, and when they want to come back home, where the Germans will go, the Americans, Germans will always be received in Germany, and all the other countries. Why can't we do that to people? When Africa is big, I don't see why we should even fear. Because other people say, "Oh, they're coming here, they'll take over." When they come, yeah, I'd rather have a black man taking over and doing something that is progressive than having all these Western people getting nothing from, and they're here being given just because they put a lot more money on the table. Yeah, so I believe it's doable, but it needs process, and the youth, especially the youth have to. Some of the youth who are exposed, some of the youth who are really researching on their own, it's easy to talk to them. But the majority, I'm to be informed, and that I believe it is doable.
We would definitely want the Tanzanians to know we're definitely not here to take over. We're here to love, hug, and build with you all. We're not here to do what the colonizers have done. I mean, we have returned home. This is our home too, and we want you all to know that we're home, and we're here to build alongside of you, not take over and abuse you.
We won't let you take over.
We're definitely not here for that, okay?
Because there's no need, because I don't want to take over either. So we can just coexist. There's no need for somebody taking over, and we don't need to take over anything. We just need to coexist and see what value are you bringing on the table? What value am I, giving, putting on the table? How can we combine these values to arrive where we want to arrive? It's not a competition thing.
Exactly.
It's not about competition. It's not about.
It's a bridge to build.
It's the bridge to build.
And
it's doable. It's doable.
Exactly.
I totally believe that it's doable.
It's not only is it doable, it will be done.
Yeah.
We are here. We're not going anywhere. All right, you have a question? Traveling sister in the house, Pat.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings, Patty.
So I do have a question. Because a lot of us diasporans are here to stay. We call Tanzania home, and of course, the questions and the conversation needs to be had. How do y'all even feel about it? We're coming to y'all home. How do y'all feel about us being here? But on a bigger picture, if we're gonna make this a working relationship because like you said, like Sister Maya said, like we're not here to try and take over. We're not here to try and neo-colonize or things like that. A lot of us are here, not all, but a lot of us are really here to make a new life for ourselves and to work with one another. So how do you, in your opinion, what's the best way for us to educate each other about one another? Because it does need to be some education that happens on both ends.
By working with people your age, especially people who are inviting you now. My generation does not have any issues. We're clear. We're clear about who we are. We're clear about what we wanted to go as Africans, we're clear. But this generation is completely confused. And then you can't blame them because they were not guided the way we were guided. Yeah, but I believe there is a way to bring that education to a wide audience. And build the bridge. I believe that will happen.
Okay, family. Do we have any other questions in the house before we let the beautiful sister go?
And contributions to or any contributions like she did.
Or any contributions? Going once, going twice, and 3 times, says the fat lady. Let's give her a warm welcome, family. Thank you so much for joining us, sisters.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, we're definitely going to invite you back and build with you in the future soon.
Welcome to Aruga, Africa.